Vidya Balan is well known in the Hindi film industry as someone who consciously chooses to opt for women centric films and inhabiting the world of characters whose journey she finds both inspiring as well as challenging. In an interview with The Wire, she gives a glimpse of the way she approaches a role, the unlearning as well as learning that she has to go through to get into the mind and motivation of another person. She also talks to us about how, over the years, playing the various characters has helped her in getting less judgmental about her own self and what it means to play a real person as she does in the forthcoming Shakuntala Devi as opposed to someone fictional. Vidya, just kind of coming to the questions very quickly. There was No One Killed Jessica, in which you played a character supposedly derived from Sabrina Lal. Uh, Mission Mangal had a set of characters, again, rooted in real. And there was Silk in the Dirty Picture. But would you say that Shakuntala Devi would be the first out and out biopic that you are doing?
I think so. Because I think I've played real life characters, but even the Dirty Picture was a semi biopic, you know. But in the case of Shakuntala Devi, we've had access to information from her daughter and son in law. So I think that's been very, very helpful in terms of keeping it authentic.
Okay. But tell me, as an actor, I would look into the processes of, you go through as an actor when you play a real character and when you play someone that is the imagination of a writer, a director. What does it call upon you? How are the two different?
So you buy into the vision of the director, whatever the case, whether it's a real or a fictional character. But in the case of a fictional character, you use your imagination more. Whereas in the case of a real person, you use the references from that real person's life. So whether it's visual references or video or whatever information you have access to. So it's, I think, a little more challenging when it's a real person, and especially a known person like Shakuntala Devi, because for example, ever since the film was announced, there seem to be so many people who've told me that they've shared experiences of meeting Shakuntala Devi, but they would tell me, she came to our school or our college, or she was at our neighbors, or she's actually a far off relative or something like that. So I was like, oh, so many people know her, so many people are familiar with her. So one is, of course, to use more familiar mannerisms of Shakuntala Devi, but more importantly, to try and capture the spirit, the essence of the person, which is what Anu Menon and I have tried to do.
Okay. When you say outward mannerisms, so for you, the approximation of physicality is not all that important as delving into the psyche of Shakuntala Devi.
No, I think, I don't like to mimic or imitate, but I think when you understand the person and you try and imbibe certain very obvious character, some very obvious mannerisms, then I think that marriage is what I strive for. So it's both, a little bit of both. Like, she'd do this all the time when she asked, am I correct? She used humor a lot. She laughed, and I laughed like her. So that was, so, that came handy. But I'm saying those things you pick up on, but I don't try to imitate the person, because then I think it could end up being a bit caricaturish.
Okay. But is it still instinct, or is there a method in it? We always talk about acting being either instinct driven or being method acting. What has it been for you? I mean, when it comes to real versus imagined,
You know, I really think that I'm not a trained actor. So I've devised my own method over the years.
Okay.
Method of working, of approaching a role, of
Okay.
spending lots of time on the script or with the writer and most importantly the director. So that's part of my process or my method. But I
Okay.
don't, also learning skills that are required for every character, if at all they're required. So those kind of things. But I don't have any other access to any other method because
Okay.
I'm not trained.
Okay, okay, okay. Kind of going back to the film, please correct me if I'm wrong, but is it the first time you've been with a team of women,
Yeah,
on a project?
largely.
Okay,
A team, a women heavy team, I'd say,
okay.
though there were men involved
Mm-hmm.
in the film, like Vikram Malhotra, who's a producer, or a sound recordist, Mandar, and there were many other people. There are actors, of course. So, but it is a women heavy team, and this experience was, I didn't have a preconceived notion of it, honestly, because I didn't know what to think. I'd always worked with male directors, and there would be lots of girls on set in terms of assistants and sometimes some department heads, but this had a lot of women, and I must say, I loved that it. There was an abundance of feminine energy. The approach is different, I think, especially because a woman is telling a woman's story.
Okay.
I think that the nuances are probably different from the way a man would have seen it.
Okay, okay.
But having said that, the overall experience, I don't know if it was different because Anu is a woman. I think it's more because Anu is just Anu. I don't think it has so much to do with her being a woman, though that makes her also who she is. But I think it's also, for example, if you ask me whether these people were, why was it a women heavy team? It wasn't because they were women, because they're very good at what they do, which is why we pulled the best resources together for the film.
This would be the second, or am I mistaken again, after Bobby Jasus with a woman director? Or
no, this is my first.
First.
Directed by Samar.
Samar, yeah. So that, I mean, the experience of being with a woman director, how does that change, or does it again? Is it gender agnostic again?
It is gender agnostic. I think she's very demanding.
Okay.
And at the same time, what I found with her is that she's not really egotistic. So she's very open to suggestions from anyone on the team. And then, of course, she'll weigh her options or the suggestions and then decide whether it fits into her vision. But she's very, I found her to be someone who really believes that filmmaking is a collaborative process in the truest sense of the term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time I'd met you, Vidya, at the time of Nutcut, you had talked about yourself as being a work in progress feminist, which is a phrase which has stayed with me. It's
right.
Because we are constantly evolving. So tell me something. How do characters like Shakuntala Devi, which come your way, help in that journey of the work in progress feminist that you are?
I think it sets you free a little more.
Okay.
Each time you play a woman, who's setting herself free.
Okay.
And I think in the case of Shakuntala Devi, she was willing to unclip her wings and just fly and soar without looking down to see, what she had left behind. She wasn't scared she's going to leave behind anything. I think that as a woman is very, very inspiring. She wanted to have it all.
Okay.
And I think I think she didn't understand why you couldn't have it all just because you're a woman. So she wanted it and she went ahead and had it all.
Okay. And a very multifaceted person again, right? When it comes to the film, how have you as an actor and your team decided to focus on her as this multifaceted person? I mean, is everything out there, or have you focused on certain traits of hers?
Honestly, 2 hours is not enough to tell her story.
Absolutely.
Because I've heard hours and hours of interviews that Anu Menon did with Anupama Banerjee, Shakuntala Devi's daughter. But we've obviously had to choose events. So we, chose events that were landmark in her journey as a genius, as a person, as a woman. And then we tried to, really pick out, um, yeah, those, because you can't possibly cover everything in a span of 2 hours. But the great thing is that here we didn't need to dramatize anything.
Okay.
She had a very eventful life,
Okay.
and therefore it was all there.
Uh-huh.
It was just a story waiting to be told.
Okay, okay. And relevant still, or more relevant now than it was back then? Because
I
I
think
presume she would have been a pioneer of sort, maybe ahead of her times, you know.
absolutely ahead of her time. In 1977, she wrote a book called World of Homosexuals at a time when homosexuality was probably unheard of, forget acknowledged in India. So I think she was so brave, and I think her story is relevant more than ever today, because we're a lot of us are in, or all of us are in different stages of our evolution as women, like I said, as feminists. And this will probably push all of us, propel us a little forward.
Okay. You know, I was struck by, again, a presumed empathy that she would have had for a husband, you know, having found out about him, and, you know, yet having a vision as broad as this, you know. And I find that you as an actor also bring a certain sense of empathy to whatever character you play. I mean, whenever I think of you or a role that you've played, the one word which comes to my mind is empathy.
Wow, thank you.
So I'm just wondering whether, you know, this material that has come to you from Anu Menon, did you, as an actor, when you were talking about, you depend a lot on what the director gets you. When you bring in yourself, is it that empathy that you get in into the storytelling? You know.
Yeah, I think, even if I don't identify, if I'm able to have empathy for what the other character went, for what the character went through, or in this case, the person went through, only then can I hope to live that part. Because you have to feel some sort of connection with the person.
Okay, okay.
So if there was no connection, no empathy, no nothing I could identify with, then I wouldn't have been able to play her or any of the characters I've done so far.
Okay, okay. But tell me, getting into the character, and it must be also unlearning a lot of yourself, you know, when you say that you have to approach a character from his or her point of view. Is there, is this, if I were to ask you, what is the most rewarding aspect and what is the most frustrating aspect, if there's any, when you approach people who are real and who may be very different from the kind of person that you are?
No, I think the most rewarding aspect is just, it opens up your mind. I'm a student of sociology. I did my MA in sociology, and sociology taught you to believe in the possibility of possibilities.
Okay.
Which meaning that what is not true for me may be true for you. That does not make your truth wrong. It can all coexist, because it's where you're looking at it from, where you're looking at the truth from, defines your truth.
Okay.
So similarly, I think it just opens up your mind, because you feel that, oh, really? So when you look into the motivations of why a person did what she did, you're like, oh my God, I had never looked at it like that. That often happens, and I think that really opens up your mind. It frees you, and I think I believe that every character I've played
Mm-hmm.
has healed some part of me.
Okay, okay, that's very nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Healed you in terms of the experiences you've had.
Yeah, yeah, not necessarily.
Mhm.
I'm not saying, has probably helped me accept myself a little more,
Okay,
is what I mean by healing.
okay, okay,
Maybe judge myself a little less.
okay. Which is another interesting. I mean, so you kind of democratic way than being judgmental about situations or people. Is that what?
No, more than about people, I think of myself.
Okay.
I think we tend to be most people, and I'd say that much more, this is that much more true for women, we tend to be very judgmental of ourselves because we have a certain, uh, I don't know, otherworldly expectation from ourselves. It's almost superhuman,
Uh-huh,
which is in a lot of ways inhuman. So I think every character is, for example, the easiest example I can give you of what I'm saying is the dirty picture. I'm someone who'd always grappled with body image issues. And the dirty picture happened, I feel, to heal that part of me that used to feel small in my bigness.
Okay.
I began to own my body after that.
Okay.
So these are, of course, more obvious. We're talking physicality, but there are various things in our lives, no, that we're conflicted about, confused about. And I think every character has answered something for me.
Okay.
Namrata, we'll have to end with the interview.
Just
I'm
can
so
you
sorry.
give me 2 minutes more? Just two questions and I'll be done.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So, work in progress feminist, and in the industry, you've gone through a certain passage. Do you think the industry is also becoming work in progress feminist at all? Do you see any changes happening in the film industry?
For sure. In the past 12 years, there's been such an, what is the word, exodus of female hero-led cinema, which wasn't the case before. And even if they got made, they were seen as, parallel cinema, or in the art cinema movement gave women more substantial roles. But here we've seen a marriage of arts and commerce, of substance and commerce. So I think in commerce. So I think I've definitely seen a change. Of course, I think all of us, not just the film industry, but the world over, I think and especially in the country, I feel we are work in progress feminists. And at different stages of it.
The last one, you started off on television and then the larger than life scenario of the big screen. Have you been recalibrating that? Because I'm sure an actor, okay, I can't say I'm sure because that's being presumptuous, but does this whole larger than life persona that gets created over time, which now is getting recalibrated back to, a more small screen, so to speak, does it call upon some effort from you also to reconcile with it, or is reconciliation too big a term to look into
Yeah,
this?
I think I wouldn't agree with the term reconciliation, because I feel it's about adapting to the possibilities. Today,
Okay.
for me, of course, I enjoy being on the big screen. But as an actor, when I get a great opportunity on an OTT, I'm open to that. Because for me, I'm looking for those challenging, fulfilling, opportunities as an actor. And that can come anywhere.
Okay.
I'm not wedded to the medium.
Okay.
I love the theater, and I love being on 70 mm. But for me, it's about what work I'm being offered by the various medium.
Great.
No, by the various media.
Yeah. And one last bit, small
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Mathematician Shakuntala Devi, were you also always inclined towards mathematics? Because
Yes.
I was scared as hell of maths.
Everyone tells me that, but I
Yeah.
actually didn't mind maths at all.
Okay.
I enjoyed numbers. So it's
Okay.
held me in good stead for this film.
Okay. So somewhere
Yes.
that number connect was also there with quote unquote the human computer.
Yeah. Not to that extent, of course. She was
Yeah.
a human computer, but yeah, I enjoy numbers.
Okay. Thanks so much, Vidya,
Thank
for
you, Namrata.
sparing the time, and I'm really looking forward to the film. All
Thank
the best
you.
with it.
Lovely
All the
talking
best.
to you.
Same
Bye.
here. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
To receive instant updates on all videos from The Wire, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Pay to support independent journalism. Click the link in the description and choose the amount you want to pay.